وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our good deeds. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يرزقنا الإخلاص في العمل يا رب العالمين. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us do what we do purely to please you, you and you alone. Allahumma ameen.
Ameen.
Inshallah, Shaykh recited for us from Surah Al-Qasas, right? The last part of Surah Al-Qasas, when the people came into Qarun and they told him, La tafrah, huh? Don't be happy. Is that what it means? La tafrah. That's, if somebody's making so much money and rich, he's got to be happy, right? Yeah, but what is La tafrah? It's like, don't be happy.
Proud.
Proud. This is La tafrah. Of course, La tafrah, don't be happy linguistically or likely. But it's La tafrah farahan yutghi. It's like, don't boost yourself. Don't become arrogant with this, right? Of course, you're going to be happy with humbleness, it's fine. But happy with arrogance, right? And if somebody asks you, where is this from? You're not going to tell them what? You're not going to tell them I'm smart, right? You're going to tell them I'm a hard worker, I have 3 jobs, I know how to make money. Do we say that sometimes? You have to be careful, right? That's what Qarun says, إِنَّمَا أُوتِيتُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ عِنْدِي. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from arrogance. Allahumma ameen. Today we're going to talk about something that we all know. Alhamdulillah. We have great knowledge of, but we sometimes miss on the focusing on the khairat of that particular issue or that particular matter. What I'm going to talk with you today, and I want to test all of us, that is the Yawm al-Jumu'ah. Yawm al-Jumu'ah. How important is that day? And what is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us on that day? And what is it any of us cashing on that day? Are we benefiting from that day? So if I ask you, or somebody, if one of your children come to you and he tells you, can you tell me about the day of Friday, Yawm al-Jumu'ah? What is that? What do we do on a Friday? What is the virtue of that day? So now we're going to start with raising hands, but please don't answer right away. I'm going to pick on you, inshallah. If I come to you and ask you, what is it so special on the day of Friday? What is your answer? Now I'm sure you know. Come on. What is so special on Friday? Yes, yeah.
We have Friday prayer.
So we have a Friday prayer on a Friday. Okay?
So all the Muslims, all the week, everybody's working somewhere and so, but this Friday, we all collect together and we celebrate and to pray to Allah.
Right? I heard something, yes?
خير يوم طلعت فيه الشمس.
Is that the best day? Yes, sir. Salam.
خلق في آدم.
ما شاء الله خلق في آدم. طيب.
وفيه يقبض. وفيه يقبض وفيه قبض.
وفيه قبض. طيب. What else?
يستجاب الدعاء.
Remember, raise without saying. I'll pick on you. Yes.
فيه يستجاب الدعاء بعد صلاة العصر إلى المغرب.
فيه ساعة استجابة الدعاء. ما شاء الله. الدكتور تفضل. You were saying something. The day of judgment. يوم تقوم الساعة. ما شاء الله. Anything else? We got to do more than that. Yes.
كل المخلوقات للإنسان تكون مهيئة يوم القيامة.
I'm not sure about this. What do you mean? يعني ما قصدك.
تكون تعرف أن يوم الجمعة يوم البعث.
There's something else about this, but not what you're saying. Yes. I'll answer. تقرأ فيه سورة الكهف. ما شاء الله. So it's all So all what you said is absolutely correct. Now we're going to organize it in a way and have the authentic references to what we just said, right? And focus on a few more things that we may miss. One of the hadith عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه, this is in Muslim, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خير يوم طلعت عليه الشمس. The best day. So it's like he said خير الأيام, right? In another hadith سيد الأيام, right? So خير يوم طلعت عليه الشمس يوم الجمعة. فيه, in it, that's the best day, created Adam, right? وفيه أدخل الجنة, he was entered the Jannah. وفيه أخرج منها, and on that day he was removed from Jannah and went to earth, right? So just think of this. So the Hayat al-Bashariyah, the human being started on a Friday. On the earth started on a Friday. ولا تقوم الساعة إلا في يوم الجمعة. So also the day, in another hadith, يوم النفخة, يوم الصعقة, and all this, the whole collection of hadith that tells us the same thing. So that's number one. Also, عن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه, he said, في ولدينا مزيد. He said في قوله ولدينا مزيد. You remember the ayat? What is ولدينا مزيد? للذين أحسنوا الحسنى وزيادة. What is the addition? Yes? النظر إلى وجه ربنا الكريم. So the says يوم المزيد, that mazid happens on a Friday in the Akhirah. يوم الجمعة في الآخرة. So it's not only in the dunya, it's also in the Akhirah. طيب. لا يوجد في قال يوم الجمعة 12 ساعة لا يوجد فيها عبد مسلم يسأل الله شيئا لا أتاه إياه فالتمسوها آخر ساعة. So we're talking about an hour where the dua is like the peak, right? Now when is that ساعة?
آخر ساعة من تشرق فيها الشمس قبل المغرب.
قبل المغرب بعد العصر. طيب, any other opinion?
ساعة إقامة الصلاة.
إقامة صلاة أي صلاة؟ صلاة الظهر on يوم الجمعة. القصد صلاة الجمعة. صلاة الجمعة, right? So there is 19 opinions on this. When is the Sa'ah? But the two stronger opinions is one, the top is after Asr, right before Maghrib, right? And the second one is and when the Imam comes, right? Make the greeting as salam until nihayat al-salah, until the end of the salah. So those are the two. Now, does any of us take advantage of this? Wallahi, I say this to myself. Many times we cruise through Friday and we miss on those hours. So take advantage of this because this is a VIP time for the dua, right? And again, wallahi, I say that to myself. Many times I miss on that. So I keep advising myself I should put my alarm on that and do this so not miss on the dua. Yes, sir.
I don't understand that the best time for dua Jummah is during the khutbah. During the khutbah we should.
Very good question. Excellent. So when do I have to make the dua during the khutbah? You can do it in the following times. When the Imam comes and says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, right? He sits, right? So you can probably make dua or you can repeat after the adhan, and at the end of the adhan, you have a few seconds until the Imam starts talking, right? And also the istirah between the two. And right during the salah, you can always sneak a dua or two, right? You can always do that. But the focus on the Friday khutbah is to really pay attention and listen to the khutbah. But you can always find time during this, inshallah, whenever you can, and make the dua. And don't miss on the asr, that is the number one time for this. طيب, if I recite for you this from Surah Al-Buruj, وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ. What is اليوم الموعود? the day of judgment, right? وشاهد ومشهود. What days are those? This is Tafsir Nabawi, right? The Shahid is Yawm al-Jumu'ah, Mashhud is Yawm Arafah, right? You go back to the Tafsir book and you go back to the authentic hadith, you will find this day is Yawmun, is a Shahid. That means this day is witness on you what you're doing on the Friday, right? So this is the Shahid is Yawm al-Jumu'ah. عن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اليوم الموعود يوم القيامة واليوم المشهود يوم عرفة والشاهد يوم الجمعة وما طلعت الشمس ولا غربت على يوم أفضل منه فيه ساعة لا يوافقها عبد مؤمن يدعو الله بخير إلا استجاب الله له ولا يستعيذ من شر إلا أعاذه الله من أخرجه الترمذي. So this hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, explaining those days, Yawm al-Maw'ud, that is the day of judgment. Al-Shahid is, Al-Mashhud is Yawm Arafah, and the Shahid is Yawm al-Jumu'ah, and saying again that this is the best day the sun has risen on this, and in it there's that hour that we talk about. Also, remember this, you all know this. This is an expiation of sin, يوم تكفير السيئات. The hadith, الجمعة إلى الجمعة كفارات لما بينهم. الصلوات الخمس والجمعة إلى الجمعة كفارات لما بينهما. So between the two Jum'ahs, they are expiation of those sins as well. طيب. What happened if somebody dies on a Friday? Nothing?
Inshallah min maqbulin.
Well, I want to remind myself and you with this hadith. Abdullah ibn Amr قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما من مسلم يموت يوم الجمعة أو ليلة الجمعة, which means from Thursday, right, all the way, إلا وقاه الله فتنة القبر. SubhanAllah, right? So it's among the, inshallah, among the khatim, good signs is to die on a Friday. That doesn't mean if you die Thursday or Wednesday, it's not a good end. Allah knows best, right? But this is among the things that we would hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the testing and the ibtila and al-qabr, right? Or the torment of the qabr. And this hadith is in Tirmidhi and Akhrajahu Ahmad. طيب. Now, how many of you, when you come in on a Friday prayer, or when you come in before the Imam comes, the masjid will be what? Full all the way to capacity? Or will be only few, right? And then the Imam comes, and then people start coming, and then by the Salah starts, then at that time may be full, right? So I'm trying to get at that I wanted to remind you and myself, always remember this hadith. If you really wanted to get more of the reward on a Friday, come early, right? Because there are angels standing by the door, right? Writing names to those who come in. You all remember the hadith where that the angel standing by the door and writing al-awwal fal-awwal, right? And then when the Imam says Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, what happened to those angels? Close the book and come in, right? And also there's another hadith gives us the benefit of coming early. If there are 5 hours, if you come in Sa'a al-Ula and Sa'a al-Thani and Thani, what happened in the first hour? You get what? A camel? No, the baqarah is the second. Now if you're thinking about the baqarah, you're coming to the second one. No. So the second hour is the cow, right? And the third comes what? Shah, right? It's like what is it? Is a goat or a sheep, right? And then chicken, right? And then the egg. Now, some people don't even get the egg, right? Because they come in way late, right? Now, you tell me, if I give you a buffet and I said, do you want the egg or the chicken or the beef or the lamb, and so on, right? So what is it that you shoot for? You shoot always for higher. Now, when is that hour? There's 5 hours here. When is that? I mean, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there was no watches, right? As you can see this hour, or second hour, or third hour. When is that? Do you know? Anybody knows? The scholar says the 5 hours start from Tulu' al-Shams, when the sun rises, until the time of Zawal. So this time here you divide it into 5 portions, because this varies in the summer versus the winter, right? That might be a little bit longer, because the Shams rises right now is early, like a few weeks later it will be a little bit later. So that time you divide it into 5 portions, and that is the first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth, right? And then you can go from there. All right. Now, so the tabkir, Yawm al-Jum'ah, this is Abi Sa'id al-Khudri al Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, إذا كان يوم الجمعة قعدت الملائكة على أبواب المسجد. The malaika will stand by the door فيكتبون الناس. من جاء من الناس على منازل فرجل قدم جزورا. In another hadith بدنا. ورجل قدم بقرة. ورجل قدم شاة. ورجل قدم دجاجة. ورجل قدم. There's another hadith عصفورا and then بيضة. فإذا أذن المؤذن وجلس الإمام على المنبر طويت الصحف ودخلوا المسجد يستمعون الذكر. So this hadith that we mentioned, that it's coming early, it's like you're giving a charity, as you will get reward as you give something like a camel or a cow or a lamb, etc., etc. طيب. Listen to this hadith. Listen how much virtue that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in this day. The Prophet ﷺ said, this is Hadith Aus, and this is أخرجه أحمد. عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إذا كان يوم الجمعة فغسل أحدكم رأسه واغتسل ثم غدا وابتكر ثم دنا فاستمع وأنصت كان له بكل خطوة خطاها كصيام سنة وقيام سنة. So, the Prophet ﷺ says, if you come into the masjid after you made ghusl, right, and you come early, dana. What does dana mean? You sit in the front. And many of us come on Friday and we sit all the way in the back. Right? I say that myself, because when I really have a back problem, I need to hold that wall on me, right? So you can do, but whoever comes in, see, I'm not talking about you. I know you support that corner. I mean, alhamdulillah, the masjid, nothing happened to you because you support it all the way there. Barakallah fi. So you have this, right? So you come early and you come close to Madana, and then you listen. Wa'ansa, listen in both your ears and your heart, right? Insat means focusing, right? كان له بكل خطوة. Every step you walk, it's like you have a reward if you fasted a year and you had Qiyam al-Layl for a year. Subhanallah, I mean, you can't beat that, right? So I think we should, wallahi, we talk to myself, we should take Friday off and just get benefit of all this. طيب. Now, when you come into the masjid, I don't want to skip much here, let me see, I want to make sure we go in order. Among the sunan of Yawm al-Jumu'ah, okay, what is it that we do on a Friday from the sunnah? I'm sure most of us know, I just wanted to remind myself and all of you. What is it that we do? Yes? You قص الأظافر, تقليم, okay?
الاغتسال.
The nails,
الاغتسال.
الغسل. Al-ghusl. Now, what is the ghusl? You get up to Fajr, you take a shower, and is that a ghusl considered? It's after Tulu' al-Shams, according to many scholars. So after Tulu' al-Shams, this is ghusl al-Jumu'ah. We're talking about the Jumu'ah, right? So even if you made the ghusl and after that you lost your wudu, it's still ghusl and it's still accepted. Obviously, you make the wudu before you commit. So that is the ghusl. I say this because many of us, we go to work and then you take a shower, like right before you come into the Fajr and all this. That is a ghusl, but it's not considered the ghusl of Yawm al-Jumu'ah. Allah knows best.
Does it just have to be after Fajr or during
after طلوع الشمس.
By how much after Tulu'a?
Anytime.
Alhamdulillah.
طلعت الشمس and any time you're fine إن شاء الله. طيب. طيب. Among the sunnah also, الاغتسال, we said الطيب, right, and السواك. Those are the three things that we do on a Friday from the sunnah. We said to come early, it's among the sunnah. Now, when you come to the masjid and you want to do tahiyyat al-masjid, you always find this happening. And many of us, sometimes you come to the masjid, the khatib speaking, they sit down, right? Is that accurate?
No.
No, of course not. Why? Where's the reference to that?
Hadith.
I think there is a hadith about
Right.
it that
Right.
nobody gets in the mosque and sit down before Tahiyyat Rabb al-Masjid.
Right, so there's tahiyyat al-masjid, which is a sunnah. It's not a fard. But on the other hand, we're talking about specifically, not like in general when you enter the masjid. We're talking about the Friday time when the khatib is giving the speech, right? And when the adhan is being given, one of those two. And you walk into the masjid. Do you sit down? Do you pray? Do you pause standing till something happens and then you pray? So you tell me, what do? Let's take it the question now. The khatib is given the khutbah now and you enter the masjid. Do you pray or not pray? Yes.
I think you should not pray.
You should not pray. Hold on. Pray.
Right.
Pray.
Pray.
Pray. You pray. The reason. You know, I can't say this out of my mind, right? This happened at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. He was given the khutbah and then Sulaik came in, right? And when he came in, he sat. And he said, get up and pray 2 rak'ahs, right? وَتَجَوَّزْ فِيهِمَا. It means make it short, right? So you do that. So one, anytime you come on a Friday, you pray. Now, you pray Tahiyyat Masjid. Now, if you come in and the adhan is being raised, right? The Imam comes in, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, he sat, and now the adhan, the muaddin, and you walked in at that time. Do you pray or do you wait till the adhan is finished and then you pray? What do?
You wait
You wait until the adhan
Okay.
finishes. You stand.
All right, until the adhan is finished, yes. Exactly. So, if you come at any time to the masjid, any time except Friday, and the adhan is being raised, you wait. When the adhan is finished, then you pray, right? The reason is during the adhan you repeat and all this, except on a Friday. When you walk into the masjid and the adhan is being raised and you just walk in, pray. Because you don't want to miss on the khutbah, right? So you pray as soon as you come in and also make it short and you sit down and then listen to the khutbah. طيب. The Prophet ﷺ, إذا جاء أحدكم يوم الجمعة وقد خرج الإمام فليصلي ركعتين. This is in Bukhari and Muslim. Also hadith Jabir أنه قد جاء قال جاء سليك الغطفاني. That the Prophet ﷺ said that Sulaik al-Ghatafani, he came in يوم الجمعة. Rasulullah ﷺ قاعد على المنبر, right? فقعد سليك قبل أن يصلي. فقال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أركعت ركعتين؟ قال لا. قال قم فاركعهما. Okay? This hadith is in Ahmad and also in Bukhari and Muslim. So this is again what we just talked about, that Sulaik came in and sat, and the Prophet ﷺ, he said, did you pray 2 rak'ahs? He says, no. He said, get up and do them now. Right. طيب. Now, you come in and the masjid is crowded and somebody is walking all the way, breaking into people, right? And skipping, jumping, and all this. So this is not allowed. The Prophet ﷺ, when he was given a khutbah one time, and same thing, somebody was walking all the way down. So he said, Ijlis, don't do that. So I'll tell you the hadith. Hadith is by Jabir رضي الله عنه أن رجلا دخل المسجد يوم الجمعة ورسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يخطب فجعل يتخطى الناس, skipping, pushing this and wanted to get his way through. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اجلس فقد آذيت وآنيت. This is in Ibn Majah. He said, sit down, فقد آذيت, you caused harm, وآنيت. What is آنيت? You've read that hadith before. He said, اجلس فقد أذيت وآنيت. Then Hamza على الألف. وآنيت. It means sit down, you have caused harm and you came in late. Right? So it means two mistakes you made, right? You skipping over people and you came in late. So in other words, come early and don't do that, right? Like, now, have you ever seen when you come in on a Friday, people talk? You're in the khutbah and people talk. Or you're on the khutbah and people...
They answered the phone.
And even answer the phone, right? Wallahi, yesterday I was giving khutbah, subhanAllah, and there's two sitting. The phone never, and I'm talking, and it's just like, and it's just boiling me, like distracting me. So I had to stop them, right? SubhanAllah, yes.
There was actually someone watching baseball during the...
La hawla wa la quwwata. So the key is, listen to this hadith. This is like an extremely important time that you're leaving everything to come in to listen to those 15, 20, 25 minutes. Most massages, the time is limited, right? 25, some of them 15 minutes and so on. And you know what happened, at least in Dar al-Hijrah, if you exceed this, the security comes right and drag you down, right? SubhanAllah. So the bottom line is you only have this much time to listen and focus, and you leave in everything. Why you want to waste this on this, right? Now I'm not saying if it's a really extreme emergency and all this. I was given this khutbah yesterday in the hospital, and I can understand if it's an emergency. So I had to, it couldn't be that emergency, it's like 10 minutes, right? You just like click, or you leave. So I had to say that. I had to stop them to stop them from continuing.
They didn't like it?
No, they didn't say anything haram, no. Yes?
About that, even you have a strong hadith, you say, even when you say to your brother, answer, فقد لغى.
That's
ومن
correct.
لغى فنجم آخر.
That's right, exactly. That's what inshallah I'm getting to this hadith. So here the hadith عن أبي هريرة عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إذا قال الرجل لصاحبه يوم الجمعة والإمام يخطب أنصت فقد لغى. This is in Bukhari, Muslim, Jazakallah khair. So even if somebody talking and you wanted تأمر بالمعروف, right, and doing good, and says stop, don't talk. You yourself has become among those who are talking, even though you're trying to fix things. So don't. Right?
What if the Imam tells you?
The Imam can. The Imam can tell, absolutely, but not the one who's...
Can you do it with ishara or no?
You can do the ishara, but you cannot talk, right? But my advice, don't even do that. Okay? Just sit and be patient and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if you yourself, not even the phone, look at this, even if you play with the hasa, remember the hadith, right? So even for the faqad lagha. Lagha, what does lagha means? Faqad lagha, what does that mean?
Cancel.
You nullified the reward. You've nullified the reward. There's no reward anymore for you, for the khutbah. You drop everything to come in to get the reward. With this word or two, subhanAllah, you can, right? And there's many ahadith. Remember the hadith, hadith Ubay ibn Ka'b, when he was sitting with Abu Darda, and there's a ayah was recited, so the companion asked the other one, this ayah was in this surah. This is like, trying to, so he didn't answer it. So at the end he said, I asked you, you didn't answer. He said, لَقَدْ لَغَوْتَ. You've nullified your reward. And they came into the Prophet ﷺ. So I'll tell you the whole hadith. عن أبي بن كعب أن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم قرأ يوم الجمعة تبارك. So Ubay saying that the Prophet ﷺ on the day of Friday he was reciting Tabaraka وهو قائم. That means you've given the khutbah and he recited ayat. فذكرنا بأيام الله وأبو الدرداء وأبو ذر يرمزني فقال متى أنزلت هذه السورة. Right? So when was this? He wanted to know. The Prophet ﷺ recited this. So he was asking, what was that revealed? Right? So إني لم أسمع. I haven't heard that. فأشار إليه أن أسكت. No, he's just right. فلما انصرفوا, when it's finished, قال سألتك متى أنزلت هذه السورة فلم تقبلني. What's the matter with you? I asked you about this surah, when was it revealed, and you didn't answer me. So Ubay said to him, ليس لك من صلاتك اليوم إلا ما لغوت. You have nothing got from your salah. You've wasted your reward. So he went to the Prophet ﷺ. He went to the Prophet ﷺ, and he said, this is what he told me. وأخبره بالذي قال أبي فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم صدق أبي. Ubay told you the truth. You have wasted your time. Right? In other words, don't say anything. And this is subhanAllah, those are the companions, and they're asking, they're not like talking nonsense. They're talking something to learn from this deeds, like they want to learn when was that revealed, right? طيب. Somebody, you're sitting on the Friday, and the khatib is talking, speaking, giving the khutbah. Somebody walked in and said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Do you see that? What do you do? Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. So what do you do?
Should not answer.
And answer, and maybe next time advise the brother, please don't say it, say it loud. Right?
Can he do it?
You can insist in doing it in your heart.
Can you do it in other, not during the khutbah?
Yeah, absolutely, anytime. Anytime. We're talking about the khutbah time because it's a time that you should be focused on the khutbah and not be distracted at all and not be disrupted at all. Yes?
I think for this reason, the Maliki say no make rak'ah to ruku' and tahiyat masjid.
And
For this reason,
yeah,
the
right.
Maliki say no make 2 rak'ah for tahiyat masjid. When the khatib is in the member.
I don't understand. I'm so sorry.
المذهب المالكي.
Oh,
لا يحبذ صلاة السنة والخطيب واقف.
والخطيب والله رد الحديث, even the hadith, Allah A'lam. Inshallah, you know, we just mentioned what we know and mentioned with the Jumhur. Allah A'lam. Allah A'lam. No. طيب, we talked about the Sa'a. طيب, among the sunan is what surahs that are more close to a Friday, that we do more on a Friday of. Surah Al-Kahf, right? We recite Surah Al-Kahf. What about Fajr?
السجدة الناس
Al-Sajda, Al-Insan, right? Now, how many of the massages do that?
Allah.
On a Friday, Fajr, then among the Sunnah, you recite Al-Sajda and Al-Insan. They do it here.
Yes, we do it.
Alhamdulillah, that's good. The reason I say, and I know many massages that
Only
they,
one imam who comes does it, not all of them.
not all of them, right? And some imams, they do part of this and part of this. The Sunnah is to do it full. The Sunnah is to do it full. Now, few things just to understand, to remember. It's not mandated that you have to do it every Friday, right? But the sunnah is to do it frequently. That's number one. So that means if it's not done, there's nothing wrong, right? So that's number one. Number two, if it's not done, you don't pick and choose another surah that has a sajda in it. The key is not the sajda, the key is the surah itself. You just remember that. The reason I say that, because some people, they kind of think like it has to be a surah with a sajda, it is not. And subhanAllah, we have said that Yawm al-Jumu'ah is Yawm Taqum al-Sa'a. And if you look at the sajda and you look at the insan, this talk about that part, subhanAllah. So what other surahs that recited on a Friday? Like the Salat al-Jumu'ah, you recite as first rak'ah, al-A'la, and the second,
غاشية.
al-Ghashiyah. Now Surah Qaf is not recited, but by the Prophet ﷺ was given so many times in the khutbah. And how do we know that? Remember, I can't remember the Sahabiya, that she said, I memorized Surah Qaf from listening to the Prophet ﷺ on a Friday that he was reciting it. So that means he was reciting it frequently, right? Now reciting during the khutbah, not during the salah, right? Now also Surah Al-Jumu'ah or Surah Al-Munafiqun, that also on the Salat Al-Jumu'ah, that has been also among the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. طيب. The virtues of Surah Al-Kahf, من قرأ Surah Al-Kahf, أضاء الله له النور ما بين الجمعتين. And there's many ahadith to give us the virtue on this. طيب. Let's go, what is it, the things that you really should not do on a Friday? Well, before that, there's something extremely important that you should do on Friday. And actually you should do every day, but you do plenty more on a Friday. What is it?
صلاة على النبي.
الإكثار من الصلاة على الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. Right? أكثروا علي الصلاة يوم الجمعة. Right? So you do salah on the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه. But whatever you do on a Friday should be more. Should be more الصلاة على الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. نعم. طيب. حديث عن أوس بن أوس قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إن من أفضل أيامكم يوم الجمعة فيه خلق آدم وفيه النفخة وفيه الصعقة فأكثروا علي من الصلاة فأكثروا علي من الصلاة فيه. So do plenty of the salah. طيب. You want to say something? We're good? Okay. طيب. Now what happens when people don't come to Friday prayer?
With an excuse or without?
Without it. Well, first of all, let's start with this. Who's obligated, who's mandated this Friday prayer on? Who should come to the Friday prayer?
All else.
Everyone.
No.
Baligh.
What is everyone?
Baligh.
Al-Baligh. So first, Al-Dhakar, the male. So that means the female, she is not mandated to come, but you know, if they come in to learn, absolutely. So this is Al-Dhakar, Al-Baligh, mature, right? 3. What about if you're traveling? You're not allowed, you're not obligated, but Al-Muqim, right? Al-Muqim, right? And Al-Aqil, right? The Mukallaf, this is, okay? And so those are the ones that are mandated on, right? So if somebody of those who mandated on don't come to the Friday prayer, what is the punishment? Obviously they did not do the fard. But if they do it 3 times, tahawunan, what happened?
No, it is sealed.
ختم الله على قلوبهم والعياذ بالله.
What about if there is an excuse?
Excuse, عذر لا بأس, لا بأس. What are the excuses? Somebody is sick, right? Somebody is traveling, or somebody, something blocked them from coming, and then so on. Allah, yes.
هل يشترط لها مسجد يعني ولا ممكن حتى في صلاة يعني؟
هل يشترط؟
مسجد
اشترط فيها.
ما شاء الله. We'll talk about this a little bit soon, inshallah. But let's just stick on this one. So, من ترك, and I wanted to أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال وهو على أعواد منبره لينتهين أقوام عن ودعهم الجمعات أو ليختمن الله على قلوبهم وليكونن من الغافلين أخرجه النسائي. So and also there's another hadith من ترك صلاة الجمعة تهاونا 3 مرات ختم الله على قلبه وطبع الله على قلبه وكما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. In other words, the punishment is severe. And there's many ahadith that talk about the Prophet ﷺ, that people who do not come in and he wish that he goes back to their homes and destroy their homes. SubhanAllah, that's because it's so important. So it is extremely important to attend. And the reason I say that, you find ourselves making 100 excuses, right? I mean, I still remember seeing people and inviting them on a Friday prayer right next to them, and they would not go, SubhanAllah. And so I always advise people, the punishment is so severe, and this is something you don't want to miss. And it's, look at the virtues that we just talked about. Look how much virtues. Why do you want to miss on that? And it only takes 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and don't miss on that. There's so much into that. Like, you were going to say something. Yes? No, okay. Like, make sure don't do those movements when there's fundraising.
I don't attend fundraising.
They'll catch you. Okay, all right. How about the things, you were saying something, what was it we talked about? Oh, that's in one place. Yes, it's in the masajid, number one. And it's preferable to be one place if the capacity fills. But if there's so many people, obviously, then it would be a different masajid. But let's say there's a village and there's like 4 or 5 musallas and there's a masjid that can obtain all these people, then it should be in that one. So the people will be gathered all the way together. Now there are some places, there's 4 or 5 masajids next to each other, right? And they would never attend them. I'm not going to that one. This belongs to my people. SubhanAllah, have you seen that? I've seen that several places. You start with one masjid and if 2 people fight and then group goes and build another masjid and group goes and build another masjid. We've seen that, right? It should not happen. And should not be the purpose to build masjid because of that. So we'll always, inshallah, be together. Anyway, so what are the things that you should not do on a Friday? How about isolate this Friday with fasting, right? To fast it by itself, right? Except, like next Friday is Ashura, right? Isn't it? Yes, it is Ashura. So this is Yawm Ashura. Can you fast it by itself? Yes, you can. But it's preferable to fast the day before and the day after. So prepare yourself to fast Thursday and Friday, or Friday and Saturday, or if you want, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? So, but if it comes, let's say it's not Ashura, it's not Arafah, then don't fast it by itself. Don't fast it by itself. Where's the hadith? Okay. عن أبي هريرة قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إن يوم الجمعة يوم عيد فلا تجعلوا يوم عيدكم يوم صيامكم إلا أن تصوموا قبله أو بعده. Right? Now the exception again, if it happens on a Friday, Yawm Arafah or Yawm Ashura, that's the exception, because you're not fasting on that Friday, you're fasting for Ashura, right? You're not fasting on Friday. Okay. طيب. Don't worry, we still have like 3 of them, right? We can, okay. I think you have, where is he? I think he left already. So, وما من ملك مقرب ولا سماء ولا أرض ولا رياح ولا جبال ولا بحر إلا وهن يشفقن من يوم الجمعة. رواه أحمد أو حسنه. This is إشفاق يوم الجمعة. That means, there's everything on the face of earth, right? Except that they have إشفاق. إشفاق like submission, humiliation, appreciation, and all this. Right? We talked about that. طيب, the sunnah. How many rak'ah you pray before the Jumu'ah? And how many rak'ah sunnah you pray after?
As much as you can.
Huh? 4?
2.
Huh? 2 before and 2 after?
As much as you can.
As much as you can, okay?
4 before Jum'ah, 2 after.
Right. All right. First of all, there is no sunnah before the Friday prayer, and there's only after. But when you come to the masjid, there's a hadith that say you can pray. Now you can pray as much as you want. You can pray 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 10, 12, etc. Right? You can pray as much as you want if you come in early. But that's not specific for
Juma.
the Jum'ah. It's not a sunnah to Jum'ah. The sunnah is only after. And now the question, when it's after, is it 2 or 4? Yes.
2, 4 in the masjid, 2 in the house.
Excellent. Bravo. MashaAllah. Barakallah. Jazakallah. Yes. So if you pray the sunnah in the masjid, will be 4, 2 and 2. Taslimatan. Right? And if you pray it at home, will be 2. And we have authentic hadith that talks about that. طيب.
Reason for that?
And this, the Prophet ﷺ, he did that. That's we follow. صلوا كما رأيتموني أصلي. That's the sin. I'm trying to find those hadith, inshallah. But so this is where it is there, inshallah, I'll find it for you. But this is what it is. 4, remember, 4 in the masjid, 2 and 2, and 2 if it is at home. Now, how many adhans for the Jummah?
1.
Is it 2 or 3 or 1?
1.
Yeah. Yeah, but some people say 3.
Huh? Okay. روى البخاري عن نساء بن يزيد كان النداء يوم الجمعة أوله إذا جلس الإمام على المنبر على عهد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأبو بكر وعمر رضي الله عنهم فلما كان عثمان رضي الله عنه وكثر الناس زاد النداء الثالث على الزوراء This is Bukhari. So at the time of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم and in the time of Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu anhuma, the Imam comes, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, that's the first adhan. And then the 2 khutbahs, the Iqamah, that's the second adhan. Okay? Now at the time of Uthman, when people needed a little bit more head notice, right? Then, and third adhan was way before when the Imam comes, right? So to alert people, close your shops and come. And then when the Imam comes, so that's the first adhan. Now when the Imam comes, that's the second adhan. So when you come in here, it's already, and the Imam comes in, it's already the first adhan been done. They do 3 here, right? Yeah, correct?
No.
No, when the Imam comes, do they do the adhan before?
No.
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 Just
You only 2. Only
the
2.
Imam comes in
Okay.
and the Iqamah.
Now, in our masjid we do 3. The first adhan, and then the second when the Imam comes, and then the Iqam. So it's a 3 adhan. This is what, yes,
Why would you do 3 at this time? I mean, this
it's just following this part here.
They
Most
have a
masajid
reason
they do
before.
3.
They had the reason before to do it, to alert people. Now everybody has his cell phone.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I'm not a
Did you
faqih.
make that decision there for your masjid?
No, I've seen it, and I actually that's well, I'm going to send that question to Jam, to Amjad, okay? It's all over 3, to my knowledge. I don't know what. Do you know any in your masjid? Remind me next time, inshallah. And I'll get you the answer. Don't ask me why in this. I don't have an answer for you. Why is this doing it and why is that doing it?
Do you know
I
of
think
any
it-
other place other than your place that does it?
Oh yeah, I went to many masajid. They do it first. They do first adhan, and then we sit, and then the imam, whoever comes early, and then the imam comes in. You raise another adhan, and then the imam finish iqamah, and they do the third. So there are 3 adhans. Yes.
And how early is for the one ones who do 3.
They do it like maybe 20 minutes or 15 minutes before.
It's not.
Especially the ones who do not do the, maybe I should rephrase that because I always come late. So I don't know what they do. Like there's salas at 11 o'clock. Do they do it before that? I don't know. I don't know. But I know the ones where the time around the zawal, and that's when they start. Allahu Akbar. But that is not required. It's only the two, as the Prophet ﷺ did time. But from Uthman on, there was 3, yes.
But the qualification, you know, we have 3 Jummah here. Each Jummah has its own first and second.
Right.
Each Jummah.
I will check on that for you and I'll get you inshallah. That's from the fuqaha, not from me.
But to be following the sunnah, then it should be 2.
The sunnah of Uthman, sunnah al-sahaba, alaykum sunnati wa sunnat al-khulafa al-rashidin. So we are fine with this, yes.
في بعض المساجد عندها 3 خطب مش خطبتين.
3 خطبة 1 2 Yeah, لا بأس في ذلك. هناك يعني there's no authentic reference to that, but I think the fuqaha, they approved that. Allahu Akbar. This is like fiqh nawazil, where you have consensus of ulama, the need and the necessity to the community. Because you know, alhamdulillah, even three times in the masajid are full. Wallahu a'lam. Yes.
Upon you have some fuqaha said the Jumu'ah should be after Dhuhr prayer, so they make 3 adhans. And so the fuqaha say no, the time of Jumu'ah so after min duhan and up, so make only to the.
MashaAllah. So the question is, can you do it? What is the time? The time is the zawal, after the zawal. It's like the waqt al-dhuhr, the time of dhuhr. Rayu Jumhur, if they are, all of them from the dhuhr on, the time of Jumu'ah, but we do it before. There's one opinion, and that opinion that is accepted, and that's the Hanbali. I think from the Hanbali that it is allowed to do it before. It is allowed. So, but the majority, the Jumhur, when we say Jumhur, that means the majority. You know, we go with the 4 schools, right? So if there's 3 of those schools, they go one direction, one opinion, that becomes the Jumhur, like the majority. So when we say the Jumhur is the Dhuhr and after, and there's one opinion that say it is allowed before. And if it is allowed, inshallah, it's all accepted. It's all accepted. By the way, in the fiqh, when we say the Jumhur have this opinion, doesn't mean the majority doesn't mean the most accurate. It means just the stronger opinion. Allah Alam. It could be, Allah knows which one is, because it's different opinion. You were saying something?
Yeah, I just have a clarifying thing. Now for the 3 adhans, yeah, I understand in some remote countries or years ago, the first one that they added as a 3rd one, that had a use to call up people to come in.
Right,
In this
he's saying
country,
the same
we
thing.
don't
I need to find out about whether it's still done or not. To my knowledge, it is still done. The question is it still needed to be done, or does I can't answer that question. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. But I don't know. I'm from the opinion to continue with it. But I'll check, inshallah, and find out. طيب, I want to make sure I did not miss anything that I needed to tell you today. Any question? Oh no. Now let me continue with this, and then I'll let you ask. Somebody came in late, right? And he called the imam, let's say in the 2nd rak'ah, right? So the imam finished the 1st rak'ah, and you came in the 2nd rak'ah, right? What do? Is that accepted now as a Friday prayer, or do you have to do dhuhr? So if you come in on the 2nd rak'ah before the ruku', so it means you completed that rak'ah, you add one more and you're fine. Now if you come in after the ruku', let's say you come in, then when they have julus, right? Then you have 2 opinions. One opinion says you miss Friday prayer, so when you get up you pray 4, that's the dhuhr, you continue. The other opinion says, look, you caught it before the tasneem, you get up and you do 2 rak'ahs and you're fine. right? I'm just throwing those opinions that we have. Allah knows best. And you choose which one to follow. Allahu A'lam. Any questions on this?
Which one is
Yes.
stronger?
That's, I don't know. I have to look it
Is
up.
it Jahr or Sir?
Huh?
The rak'ah that you come up with, is it in Jahr or in Sir?
Whichever.
Oh, that's Jahran or Sirran. I think it's a rak'ah, Salah Jahriya. Same thing when you miss the Fajr. So you do Jahr. Allahu A'lam. No. طيب. So the hadith that we talk about the Sunnah, روى مسلم عن أبي هريرة قال قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا صلى أحدكم الجمعة فليصلي بعدها أربعة. This is the Sunnah that you pray after, right? Okay. طيب. Any questions? Now we're open for questions, inshallah. We're finishing up with this.
Whether on Jum'ah or not in Jum'ah, people when come to pray, they don't fill the gaps. And you come and you see a lot of gaps here and there, and you want to go, you cannot tell people, yeah, Jama'ah, move on.
Right.
And at the same time, you cannot cross.
Right.
What do you do?
So you can cross if there's a space. What is this? La tufarriq, that's the hadith. If like people sitting close to each other and you push them away to walk through. But if there's a gap that's enough for you to sit down without disturbing anybody, you're fine. You're allowed to go there. Absolutely. But the hadith is la tufarriq. La tufarriq means don't separate. In other words, don't cause harm and don't disturb. Just walk nicely. If there's a big gap enough, yes, you sit and you fill in. And that is Salat al-Malaik alayh. Yes.
إذا صادف عيد الجمعة أيهما أفضل؟
Very good question. Excellent. So you have Eid, right? And it's on Jumu'ah, right? So what do you do now? Do you pray Jumu'ah or do you pray Dhuhr?
Both.
Okay, mashallah. So if you pray Salat al-Eid, سقط فرض يوم الجمعة. If you pray Salat al-Eid, right, then you have a choice. You can pray Dhuhr and not attend Jumu'ah, or you can pray Jumu'ah and attend Jumu'ah. The masjid has to have a Jumu'ah prayer. You cannot say it's Eid and it's a Friday. We're just going to leave it as a Salah. No, you have to establish the Friday prayer because there's some people who do not pray, right? So you have to have that available, that option available to people not do that. There's something else I was going to ask. Look at this. Any other question? I'll remember it. So let me go ahead and then you share.
Just I want something clear from you, because any salat to catch the jama'ah, you have at least to catch the last rak'ah before say Sami Allahu liman hamid.
Okay.
So Jumu'ah now you say if you catch Imam even taslim, maybe
Yeah.
you take thawab of jama'ah, but you don't catch the
Jazakallah khair. Let's say, forget Salat al-Jumu'ah. Let's say you
Any
came into
salat.
Maghrib
Any salat, yes.
and you came in the last rak'ah, right? After ruku. After he said Sami Allahu liman. You still continue, right?
You still continue, but you don't catch the jama'ah.
Yes, you did.
لا في
Jama'ah,
في
Yes,
اختلاف
you
في
did.
اختلاف
Yes, you did.
في اختلاف.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Allahumma salli ala sayyidina.
Happened to you like me, the same thing. I have something I forget to say.
لا
Oh,
Alhamdulillah,
I remember.
Sheikh Farhan instituted praying Jum'ah after Eid, Alhamdulillah, this year. We didn't do it in Dar al-Hijrah.
You mean before did not open the masjid? No, they should be always open. It should always
It's
be
not a
open.
matter of being open. Well, before, and correct me if I'm wrong, I have never attended a Friday Eid and Jum'ah at the same time. But
You're
now-
allowed, but
No,
the
no.
masjid are not allowed.
I think it was.
The masjid, as far as I know, the masjid
لا
didn't
أعتقد
do
إنه
it.
did. I think we did.
They did?
To my knowledge, the masjid is always open for Friday. To
أعتقد إنه عمل.
But what they do, instead of 3 khutbahs, some of them they do 1 or 2.
Yeah, مظبوط.
They shorten it, they make
Yeah,
it
yeah.
1 or 2. It's always like that.
أعتقد إنه واحدة بس.
But here you are actually doing so many on Eid. It starts.
I know they do like 6
way
to
to
10.
Dhuhr.
Yeah. But my question to you now, that's a common mistake. I've seen it and I did this mistake for a while until I realized I was doing it wrong. Let's say you're traveling, right? And you have a Friday prayer somewhere, right? So they say if you stay in that, then you go and do the Friday prayer, right? Now you prayed Friday. Now can you do Jama' and Qasr? Can you do Asr? And you wanna, you do Dhuhr and Asr, you make Jama', right? Now, what about you prayed? Instead of Dhuhr, you say, I'm going to pray Friday prayer today with them, and I'm traveling, and I'm going to do Asr, and I'm going to do Jama'. So my question is, can you do that or not?
No jama with the Jumu'ah.
Exactly. So don't make Jama' because some people do that. Now, if you come in and you intend Dhuhr because you're traveling, then it's a different story, right? If you make intention that this is your Salat Dhuhr, and you pray 2 rak'ahs still because you have Qasr, right? Then you pray Asr, then you're fine. But if it is the intention of Friday prayer, right? Then you should not do Jama'. You do the Friday, you do the Asr on its time. You still do Qasr or not, it's up to you, but the Qasr is a ruqsa that you take advantage of. طيب, mashallah. Is it time for shuruk yet? Mashallah. طيب. Yes, last question.
Is Friday you have to attend the khutbah? Is
Yes.
obligation?
Yeah, very good question.
So
Yeah.
when I'm coming to I come late to pray and I miss the khutbah, I have to listen to the khutbah before I pray.
Okay, there's difference of opinion. What is the hukm of the khutbah, attending of the khutbah? Some of them say wajib, some of them they say not. There's so many opinions for the scholars on this. Is it preferable to come and attend that? But if you do not have to make up for the khutbah anything, okay? Some people, they say the dhuhr is 4 rak'ah and the Jum'ah is only 2, and they say the reward of the other 2 rak'ahs is the khutbah. So there's so many opinions on this. My advice, and the reason I say because I see in other masajid, especially the masajid from India and Pakistan, the khutbah for them is not that. I don't know what the hukam in their fuqah, their madhab. They take it lightly for the khutbah. They don't really come right away. I've given khutbah at masajid and I see them standing out there and not even come into the masjid. In other words, taking it lightly. My advice, take advantage of this and come in because it's a time of dhikr. There's a reward for it, inshallah. And you remember the reward if you enter the masjid before the khutbah and all this. So take advantage of this. You're leaving your work, you're leaving everything to come in, so come in. Yes, sir.
When a brother or sister die, how many times you have to do janazah? 1 janazah or?
You mean a prayer? Janazah prayer?
Yeah.
One time. You don't need to do more than that.
Huh?
Now, you do one time. You do one prayer. Why? Is somebody praying on him several times?
When Shahanuti died, they pray 5 times.
You mean 5 separate times?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
in this masjid, that's why I was confused. Why they pray 5 times?
I was here when he passed away and they did the prayer, and to my knowledge, there's only one prayer. When is the other
Maybe
prayer?
a few other people came later and they did their own.
Yeah,
janazah.
you can
That
do
must
your
be-
own, but not like Jama'ah. I mean, Jama'ah.
صلاة الغائب.
They wait for other people to pray. on him.
So let's say you prayed, right?
Yeah.
And you finished the prayer, that's it, you're done. You're
I'm
not gonna
done.
go back and pray again. You're talking about other people didn't pray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's different. Allahu A'lam. I think they can still pray. They can still pray. Like the Prophet ﷺ, when somebody died in the masjid, was cleaning the masjid, and they didn't tell the Prophet ﷺ, he was died in the middle of the night. Right? So they prayed and buried that person, right? And then the Prophet ﷺ came in the next morning And he told, why didn't you tell me? They said, you know, we did not want to bother you and so on. So he went and prayed. So yes, he can pray because he didn't pray. And he prayed janazah on that person. So yes, it is allowed to pray if you miss the prayer. But not the same person going and praying for the ones. Yeah. Allah knows best. جزاكم الله. سبحانك اللهم ربنا وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. بارك الله فيكم. جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.